All aboard! Remember that? Remember we used to do that? All aboard the freedom train, really going down. We start off in the South, but then we travel all over the United States because we got money like that. Ain't that right, Pat?
Word. I'm in the middle of the safari right now.
You see him? He just in the part of the train that don't have no top and sides.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it ain't moving fast because we at a stop.
Yeah.
Duh. But anywho, I am Joseph Ward. He's Patrick Irvin. This is the Freedom Train podcast series, and we are here to give y'all weekly dose of us because we love y'all too. We love y'all that y'all tune in, and we love y'all too. But remember that the Freedom Train podcast series is brought to you by PAX Inc., and that's PACTS-INC. And PAX Inc. is a Black development organization aimed at developing the Black community to its maximum potential through a focus on education and economics with the traits of hard work, honesty, and integrity. For more information, make sure you visit the website at www.pactsinc.org. It's a whole lot of good stuff on there. Every time I get a rundown, Pat act like he got a problem with it. So go to the website, www.pactsinc.org. Make sure y'all visit amazonsmile.com. Amazon Smile will allow you to be able to shop on Amazon as well as support a nonprofit organization. So you go to amazonsmile.com, you register, you get to pick a nonprofit organization, you pick PAX Inc. Bam, you signed up. So every time you go to buy something on Amazon, just hit Amazon, go to amazonsmile.com, be able to support PAX Inc. Bam, just like that. Was that short enough?
Nah, it was still too long.
Too many pumps.
It was we need to cut it down.
How many pumps is too many pumps?
I say anything more than like 10, 15.
10, so it should be like a 10 pump minimum.
Yeah.
So I should be on that 10th pump. I should be letting it loose.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It is. Hey, gotta get my timing down with my pump. So around pump 7, I should be coming down that home stretch.
Right, but it's got they gotta be like steady, but quick pumps. They can't be like long pumps.
Rhythmic quick pumps. I got
you. Yeah. You're trying to resuscitate. Like you're not trying to build a relationship.
Right, like a rabbit. Just get in there. I got you. I got you. Hey. So we got a couple. Y'all know how we do. We got to talk about it. Oh yeah, y'all like my shirt? Shout out to Mr. Derek Standifer. Remember our guest couple from 2 weeks ago. I told you I had my I Am African shirt, not African. So I was gonna wear it then, but I actually wore it earlier in the week. So it was in the dirty clothes. So I wear this shirt. So I got it on today. Shout out to Mr. Derek Standifer. I am African, not African. Get your mind right. So we got a couple topics. We found out that it's a fly in this room, but we found out that there's
flies in this one too.
Boy, you got ants, everything. So there's a Delta variant. Of course, most people know there's a Delta variant of the COVID-19 that's out now in the United States. It's available at your local person. And we're going to give you more information about this Delta variant, kind of give you our thoughts on where we are with COVID, period, and try not to get this part of the video taken down by YouTube. Our information is coming straight from the CDC. Okay. Our next topic is Haiti's president was assassinated, and a lot of information that I've come across was saying that some of the people who were part of the assassination, or the group of people who were part of the assassination, or even a person, was former DEA for here in the United States. So it seemed like another case of United States being involved in the assassination of a president or a ruler of another country for some kind of whatever that follows with the United States. So we got that going on, and various other things that may come to our mind. Ain't that right, Pat?
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, put a smile on your face, dog. Act like you happy, dog. There you go. Freestyle for him real quick. Bust a freestyle for the people real quick, like you always been wanting to do.
I give him the pootie time later.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah, I give him the pootie time later.
Side eye tape.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, Chris Rock a damn fool for that.
Why Chris? Well, did Chris Rock write that?
Yeah, that's a Chris Rock creation, and we watched that, and we like it.
Yeah, pootie time is my shit.
I need to get me a belt like him in the ponytail. So man, let's talk about this Rona, man. Let's talk about this COVID-19, this Delta variant of this COVID-19. Um, so what do you know about this Delta variant of this COVID-19?
Um, I mean, I think everybody at this point knows the basics. It's a mutation of COVID that I think it was started in South. It was first detected in South Africa. But it is a lot more contagious. And so I think we're in the middle of another surge right now, especially down in Florida. And
And don't come at us like that.
it's always Florida, right? Um, and and two people I know very closely are getting ready to travel to Florida. So, but anyways, um, 99%. I was reading 99% of all new COVID hospitalizations are caused by the Delta variant, and they are involving non-vaccinated people. So
Okay, so hold up. Just to be clear, as of right now, most or all of the information is showing the Delta variant showing up in people who are not vaccinated.
yes, it is spreading. There are people that I'm sure that are catching it that are vaccinated, but
Mhm.
most people that are fully vaccinated are not having to go to the hospital. They're
Okay.
not needing to be admitted or hospitalized or anything like that.
Okay.
Um, but I was reading 99% of the hospitalizations are coming from unvaccinated people, and the majority of them are the Delta variant. So it is this current surge that we're in is a Delta variant surge, and is really being fueled by the unvaccinated population.
Right.
So it's another thing that people gotta, it's another thing that people gotta test with all vaccines. The CDC does this. All of the WHO, all of these organizations do this. They all weigh the pros and cons. Are the pros to not catching the are the risk to not catching or to catching COVID worse than the risk to of the side effects that a vaccine might present?
Well, that's a great question, and I wonder how many people are asking themselves that question.
And that is the essential question. Like that, to me, that's the question that determines whether or not you are somebody that gets vaccinated or you are somebody that does not.
Right.
If you think the risk of vaccinations are greater, then you don't. If you think the risk to catching COVID is greater, then you do. Um, and I have been talking to a lot of people myself that I know that are unvaccinated, and um, it's been real interesting because I understand it too. I understand a lot of the logic behind the people that are saying the technology is new, and they're uncomfortable with this new mRNA technology, and they would like it if there was a traditional vaccine created, like a traditional technology type vaccine created. A lot of the people I know that are not vaxxed are saying that they would take that shot. They just are not sure about the mRNA vaccine and the long term effects. Now, we know, YouTube, listen to what I'm saying. We know that according to the studies and the reports, there are no long term these vaccines are extremely safe. We know that according to the reports. What I'm saying is the people that I know that are unvaxxed have this concern that because the vaccine operates by changing or implanting RNA into your cells. They are wondering about the long-term effects of essentially having your DNA manipulated in such a way.
So okay, so I'm gonna ask this question in a way to help me understand better and hopefully somebody else. So
Okay.
traditionally, vaccine behavior in the body, the vaccines that we've been given in the past, were they RNA vaccines?
No,
Okay.
they were either weakened virus tissue or dead virus, or weakened virus cells or dead virus cells
Hmm.
being implanted in the body. Because as you well know, as an infectious disease specialist that you are, you too, he's an infectious disease specialist.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, yeah, your mama said call me.
We're not giving out any misinformation. Um, the only way that your body learns, the only way that your immune system learns how to combat a pathogen invader is to encounter that invader.
Right,
So most people don't. They think you get a vaccine in some kind of way. There's this shield that goes up on your body that prevents you from catching whatever it is. That's not how it works. They implant uh, a pathogen in your body. Your body sees it. It's too weak to do any real harm, but it's strong enough or is relevant enough or it's set up in such a way that your body recognizes it as an invader, and it does what it needs to do to create antibodies for it. And then you get what they call the memory cells, which are the cells that basically store all of the different pathogens you've encountered. They store that. And so now you have these M cells for this pathogen, so that when you catch the pathogen or when you encounter it again, you don't get sick because your body knows it recognizes it right away and it deals with it before it gets out of control.
right,
That is still the only way that we have to protect people from pathogens. The way the mRNA works, though, is it just inserts a bit of code that causes the protein spikes on the coronavirus cell to be manufactured in the cell. And then through that process, it allows the immune system to be able to identify the spikes and recognize the spikes.
right. So
So,
okay,
hear what we're saying, YouTube? Did you
right,
hear us?
right. And so just to be clear, just to make sure we all on the same page, the Moderna. Oh, you was. Oh, it froze. That looked funny. It froze a bit, but you back because your
No,
eyes.
it didn't froze. I was just there.
Oh, okay. So the Moderna vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, and the Johnson and Johnson. All three of those vaccines are all three of those vaccines RNA vaccines.
I'm not sure about the Johnson Johnson, and I'm only saying that right now because my mind just went blank on it, and it's crazy because I was reading about Johnson Johnson earlier today because I told you I was doing a bunch of extra research on it. Oh, but the Moderna and the Pfizer are definitely using this new mRNA technology, this new way of inoculating people. Absolutely. So, but as
It's
vaccines go, so far these vaccines are safe. If there those of us that look at the numbers, see the numbers. Now there's some disparity there where people don't believe the numbers, and to that, I don't know what to tell you. The numbers are what the numbers are. If you're not going to believe them, you're not going to believe them. There really ain't nothing to be said about that. But the numbers that are presented to us say that these vaccines are extraordinarily safe. You're talking about 183 million people being vaccinated so far, and having less than, I believe, 1,000 or 100, less than 1,000, I believe. I have to look it up again. But the amount of people that have had extreme side effects that require hospitalization is very, very small. Very small. There has been one death that I know that can be attributed to a vaccine, but that's one death in 183 million. Compared to if you catch COVID, with COVID, there's been in America, there's been, what is it, 50, 60 million people infected and 600,000 dead?
hey. Look,
So
right now, it looked like the vaccine winning. I'm just
the
saying.
vaccine is definitely winning.
So I'll say this, like we've been saying, we're not we're not promoting the vaccine. We're not denying the vaccine. Our job is to give you the information, and you make the best decision for yourself and your
Right.
family and your life. All right. So I do want to read this. This is YouTube. Hear me. This is directly from the CDC. It says the Delta variant of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, was this says it was identified in India in late 2020 and has subsequently been detected in approximately 60 countries.
Okay, well maybe it was India then. Whatever.
And so specifically, it's called the B1617 point. Well, yeah, B16172 Delta variant. So the
Mhm.
B16172 variant has a potentially higher rate of transmission than other variants. During May 12th through the 18th of 2021, the Oklahoma State Department of Health Acute Disease Services was notified by the OSDH, Oklahoma Health Department of Health Public Health Laboratory, of 21 SARS-CoV-2 B1617 two specimens temporarily and geographically clustered in central Oklahoma. Public health surveillance data indicated that these cases were associated with a local gymnastics facility. The local health department staff members re-interviewed persons with B1672 variant positive laboratory results and conducted contact tracing. 47 COVID-19 cases, age range of 5 to 58 years, including 21 laboratory confirmed B1672 variant of 26 epidemiologically, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, epidemically, whatever, linked cases, I can't say that shit right now, were associated with this outbreak during April 15th through May 3rd of 2021. Causes occurred among 10 of 16 gymnast cohorts and 3 staff members. Secondary cases occurred in 7 or 33% of 26 interviewed households with outbreak associated cases. The overall facility and household attack rates were 20% and 53% respectively. 40 or 85% of persons with outbreak associated COVID-19 had never received any COVID-19 vaccine doses. 3 or 6% had received one dose of Moderna or Pfizer 14 days before a positive test result, but had not received the second dose. 4 persons, 9% had received 2 doses of Moderna or Pfizer BioNTech or a single dose of Johnson & Johnson 14 days before a positive test result. These findings suggest that the B1672 variant is highly transmittable in indoor sports settings and within households. Multi-component prevention strategies, including vaccination, remain important to reduce the spread of SARS-CoV-2, including among persons participating in indoor sports or other contacts and stuff like that. So they have given you a little more insight of the Delta variant and basically what it's doing to people, how it's behaving, directly from the CDC.
And they're talking about reinstituting some of the mask restrictions. And if things keep going, we might be going into another lockdown. Or I know we won't. American people won't let that happen, but it might be a situation where we need to go
Man, look, we
into another
passed that.
lockdown.
We passed needing to. Think about how long we've been talking about needing to at least, damn, give us a month. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, if people would have sat, and this is the crazy part, right? Because we talk about this, if people would have sat still for a month last summer, just a month last summer, just July, 4th of July,
Things
just
would be a
chill.
whole lot better. A lot of people who are against the vaccine probably wouldn't even be that much of an option right now. People would set their butts down.
Right. But and then the entire world opened up too fast. The entire world opened up too fast. This is one of the instances where it's crazy because everybody's like respect people in their profession, respect people's expertise. The entire medical establishment was like, yeah, we need to sit still. And we went from saying you got to respect their expertise to saying screw them.
Yeah,
And
because
then the
we
entire medical facility was saying we're opening up too fast. And everybody was like, again, screw them. So at what point do you really begin to respect the opinions of the people that have gone to school to study this shit?
they right. We're in a situation where people are respecting the opinion of politicians or talking heads over the professionals, over the experts. Like you're saying, medical professionals are been telling people, sit your butt down. Our governor say, hey, take your mask off. It's okay. Like people know the Delta variant is out here and they're talking about it, but they're not wearing masks. No, once again, me personally, I'm not telling anybody that they have to get vaccinated. But I will say, take every precaution you can to keep yourself safe. If you got to dial it back, damn it, dial it back. If you got to sit your butt down, sit your butt down. It ain't that serious. Like I'd rather sit my butt down today to be healthy and fruitful tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of them things where you look at the numbers and you're thinking about it and you're really considering, because again, and a lot of people I know that are unvaccinated notice that. They know that 25% of people that get hospitalized end up with long-term permanent issues. They notice that. A lot of them are in those high-risk groups where they know that they are more likely to get it. They know all of these things. Now what I can say to a lot of them, to their credit, is they sitting the fuck still. Like they haven't left quarantine. They don't go outside. They don't. And when they do go on, they masking, they double masking. I even talked to somebody earlier who's double masking and face shield.
You know, the people who just walk out with just the face shield, they trip me out. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what's going? So when you put this on, like, cause you see everybody with a mask that's covering their nose and their mouth, so projectiles won't come out.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it helps so you won't breathe certain things out. So the shield only stops you from projectiles, but it doesn't stop you from breathing in. What are you thinking when you're out there and you just have the face shield?
They they don't. I don't think people really understand the way this shit works.
They like that. Like that's like a person. That's like two people about to have sex, and the lady watches the dude poke a hole in the condom, and then watch him put it on with his head hanging out the condom, and have sex with the expectation of full protection. Same thing.
Well, it's like when everybody first started talking about COVID, and people were saying, well, the mask doesn't protect you necessarily, but it protects other people from you. People took that and said, well, it ain't no point in wearing a mask. And it was like, well, if everybody has a mask on,
It's a great point
then everybody's protected because if you don't wear a
because
mask, you
it
break it.
stops me from breathing out to you.
But that also showed me how narcissistic and how self-centered and selfish people are. Because you tell them, well, this doesn't necessarily help you, but it helps everybody around you. The first response a lot of people have is, well, fuck the mask then. I don't, wait a second. I
Yeah.
just said it helps everybody around you.
So that means everybody else's mask around you helps you, fool.
And that's the part that people were not putting together. Look, you wear a mask to protect other people. Other people wear a mask to protect you.
Because
That's
it's
why
like,
when you see people walking, that's why in the early days when you saw people walking around without masks, those people that understood the mask, they there was I understood why they were upset. You're basically saying you don't care about my well-being.
the I should start messing with people. But like next time you're in a conversation with somebody who anti-mask, put your arm around them and get real close and be like, "Oh shoot, how many days it been now?" Because let's just be real. take one of those anti-maskers and put them in a situation where they fear contacting or fear contracting COVID, their whole mindset would change. Their whole demeanor and everything would change. They'll be worried. They go from anti-mask hardcore to like, oh shoot, don't worry about my well-being now. Nah, don't worry about it now. Like, I just want people to take proper precautions to protect themselves and others. So my first thought when, okay, it's an RNA vaccine. So my thought is not necessarily something that's going to come in and reconfigure your DNA,
Right.
but something that will protect you at a cellular level because of the type of virus that you're dealing with, which will attack you at a cellular level. So it's cellular level protection.
Well, and that's the thing that I think when you really get down into the nitty gritty, everything that the vaccine is going to do to you, the virus is going to do you worse if
Right.
you catch the virus.
Because it mirrors it's a lighter version. It's a non-lethal version of what the virus is going to do. Of the virus.
So in a perfect world, you wouldn't need the vaccine because you wouldn't catch the virus. But we don't live in a perfect world. Clearly.
We live in America.
Right. Over a year into some shit that should have been over in 2 months, and motherfuckers would have sat still.
Hey, you know how
So,
that.
you know, it is what it is on that, I guess.
Hey man, y'all. So the question is, America. Well, we know the answer to
I was
this.
going to say, we already know the answer.
What you gonna do? The same thing we've been doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. I was listening to a broadcast on NPR, I think it was earlier today, and it was basically saying the majority of the people that are, what did it say? Basically 51% of the people that are not vaccinated right now have no plans to get vaccinated. And there's nothing that anybody can say or do to change their mind. Period. There are people that are unvaccinated that plan on getting vaccinated at some point, but those people are in the minority. So the vast majority, I would say the majority of the people that are going to get vaccinated
they're already vaccinated.
So now you're running into diminishing returns. So the question is, if a large section of American society remains unvaccinated, and because the other thing to consider there is you want to put the community at risk, because as long as the virus can spread and replicate, every single time it replicates, there's an opportunity for mutation.
Right.
And there's an opportunity there as long as we have a population in America that the virus can mutate in. For it to mutate into a form that the vaccines don't protect against.
Yeah.
So that's where you run into, again, how much do you care about society? And how much are you willing to put yourself at risk, your family at risk, and everything else at risk? Or how much are you willing to isolate yourself? You're going to say, well, I'm not going to get the vaccine. I got no problem with that. But are you willing to go in isolation until everything is permanently taken care of?
Nope, because people still want to party and bullshit and have fun and live life and travel and do all these things. And we're not saying you can't. But what we are saying, is it worth your long-term health being compromised?
Right.
If you feel it is, then fuck it. But if you value yourself and your health long term, you might want to chill out.
Just a little bit. You might want to think about it.
A little smudge it. A little smudge, a little dab will do you.
You know, you ain't got no people that just, you know. So, but that's, yeah.
Hey,
I'm still talking to people about COVID and the vaccines and still trying to get a feel. Most of the people in my circle actually are not vaccinated, and a good chunk of them have no plans on getting vaccinated. So I talk to them a lot about vaccines and have your opinions changed and what could change your opinion. And So it's gonna be what it's gonna be, I guess.
I'm one of the few, huh?
Yeah, you are actually. You are really one of the few.
But you raised a good question though. You asked a good question. Which one do you think is more harmful to you? The vaccine or the virus? And if you say the vaccine, all right, prove it. Same thing. If you say the virus, prove it. But the problem is right now we got a lot more information to say that taking the virus, contracting COVID is a lot more harmful to the body than the vaccine is.
Absolutely.
Now the narratives say otherwise. The narratives are basically out there because they'll take any. I see people taking any type of information they can find and using that to justify why people shouldn't take the vaccine. But at the same time, you're still leaving yourself vulnerable. You're leaving yourself vulnerable for taking the brunt of the blow that COVID can give to you. Because at the same time, are you really gonna sit down?
Right. And it becomes a numbers game. Because we hear about all of the myocardia, the this, the that. We hear about all of the side effects from the vaccine. But you have to position that next to the 183 million people that have been vaccinated. And that's where it gets tricky. And I know not tricky. That's where it becomes, like you said, there's just an abundance of evidence that says that the virus is more harmful. But that's where you get into discussions about, do I believe the numbers and all of these other things. And that's also where you get into, and this is where, as a parent, I understand parents that feel this way. Yes, I understand that there are millions and millions of people that have been vaccinated and have had no side effects. But what if my kid is one of the ones? Which again, you kind of gotta put that next to, what if your kid is one of the ones that catches a severe case of COVID?
Like I saw what's the lady, Lovey Ajayi. She's a activist, actress, black lady. I saw her on Twitter or YouTube or Instagram, one of them. And I don't disagree with her overall. But she was saying she think the Olympics need to be canceled because of COVID. And overall, I don't disagree with her. But I wonder, my mindset for not necessarily, and what I'm about to say is not specifically for her, but it's just an overall thought that made me come. Because I agree with the way COVID is, that international, that is a hotbed for COVID. I agree with that. But are we having that same energy for events that we really want to go to? Because if we're not having that same energy, and like I said, I'm not saying that she's not, and that question is not specifically for her, but it's just the question that popped in my mind. Are people having that same energy for like the events that have come back around, especially in 2021, that they want to go to? Like, for example, the Orange Blossom Classic, FAMU versus Jackson State. That's happening. And so do you have people saying this event shouldn't happen, but I'm going to my event? Because if so, then but if that's the mindset, then that's off.
We know that that's happening, and it is off. It is not right in the least bit. It's not okay. But that's how we are. It's easy to look down on those and other people, not realizing that you're in the same position. Just because you tilt your head up don't mean that you position higher than somebody else.
Yeah.
So, it's with the surge in the Delta variant, we know people don't care about what's going on with the Olympics right now. We just watched how upset people got over the Sha'Carri Richardson situation.
Well, that's one of the thoughts that came to my mind, because I've seen a lot of people who've since Sha'Carri, she said it's Sha'Carri, so since Sha'Carri, but since she didn't make it because of the marijuana, a lot of people, especially black people, are like, man, fuck the Olympics. But it's like, well, what did the Olympics do wrong?
That's and see. Let's go there real quick because I coach track. I've been participating in track since I was 11, 12 years old. As an athlete, all the way up um until my 20s, and then as a coach. From then on, I transitioned right from being an athlete to being a coach. There was literally no break in between. Um, all of the athletes understand the rules of engagement. They have not changed. We did not all of a sudden automatically get added to the list. It's been
Right.
on the list of banned substances for a while. If you have a problem with it being on the list, do your research to find out why it's on the list and then take steps to figure out how to remove it from the list. But all of the athletes, Sha'Carri Richardson included, understood that weed was a banned substance. Now, to the point that everybody's making about the ostracization of black women, she was replaced by another black woman. Two black women would pick this alternate. So only one got a slot because of what she did. And you could take your pick as to which one actually got picked. But one was Hobbs, who I believe is a lesbian black chick. So I know people are like it's LGBT hate with the Sha'Carri Richardson too. Well, you got a lesbian black chick there. And then the other one was I forget her name, but I remember Hobbs' name because Hobbs has been doing a thing for a while now. But the other chick was a black chick as well. So you could take your pick as to who got picked. But Sha'Carri Richardson broke the rules as they stood. The
She did.
Olympic Committee gave her a 30-day suspension. The U.S. Olympic team decided not to pick her up on a relay because they didn't want to send the message that because of her status as a superstar and this, that, or the third, they would make a exception to the situations for her. Nobody did anything wrong but her. And to boycott the Olympics, to refuse to support these other black women who did
Because of one.
everything right.
Because of one person who did it. She broke the rules.
That's where I'd be like, are we really thinking about what we saying and doing that we gonna boycott
Nope.
these other
Nope.
black women?
Because it's not really about black women. It's about her because they became fanatical about her because they like we fell in love with her. Cool. So fall in love with the rest of the black women that's out here.
If it's right, if y'all are really, because the argument is everybody's doing everything they can to hold black women down.
What?
If
No, that's bullshit.
Go
That's
ahead.
bullshit because when we watched, how many Olympics have you watched where white women been out there in the 100 and 200 women?
No, that's been black women dominated for decades. Decades.
So
Literally,
shut the fuck up
and
with
it's been
all that.
American black women dominated for decades.
If
as
they
well.
not American, they Jamaican.
Right.
It's still in the Americas.
Right. Well, yeah, always America's dominated. Always.
Yeah. So stop with this. Oh, they trying to keep black women down. No, how you keeping black women down by replacing a black woman with black women? And we all know a black woman gonna win.
Yeah.
We just don't know which one. Our money mostly is on Shelly Ann Fraser Price because she's the female Usain Bolt.
And to be clear about that as well, because a lot of people was like, Sha'Carri Richardson was gonna no, Shelly Ann Fraser Price has been the favorite. Because like Joe said, she is the female Usain Bolt. She's been dominating. She came up, I think 2 or 3 years after Usain Bolt first captured the limelight.
And when
she was on the women's side doing the exact same thing.
Look, and no slight to Sha'Carri, but Shelly Ann Fraser Price really gained her name not from all the stuff leading up to the Olympics, but her dominance in the Olympics. Right. So let's get it right now. But
so
you know,
I just wanted to you know what I'm saying?
No, but it needs to be said because people are making it, like you said, they're making it seem like the Olympics are coming at her personally, and it's not nobody coming at her personally. She broke the rules. Now we're not mad at her because we understand why she did it.
Yeah, I'm not. It ain't nothing about her. Yeah,
she was trying to grieve the best way she knew how to grieve from the loss of her mother. We're not mad at you. Train hard. We're gonna support you in the next Olympics. We're gonna be right there to cheer for you.
But here's the thing, right? Every year there's a track championship. Y'all want to support her, continue to support her. She's got other track meets this year that she's going to be participating in. Track runners have meets outside of the 4-year Olympics. There's a championship every year, and you know what? Most of them don't get paid shit because most of y'all only watch track and field during the Olympics. So if you really want to support, it's not like she got dropped off the face of the earth. She
Right.
didn't lose no endorsements. She didn't die. She wasn't banned from the sport. She got a 30-day suspension from international competition.
Look,
It's already over.
so I hope she don't do it because she can make more money not doing this. But I saw a marijuana company, a CBD company, one of the weed companies offering her like a $250,000 endorsement.
She don't need to do that.
Nah, because she gonna make way more money turning that down from Nike and everybody else.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't because the image is well, this is me. I smoke weed and I don't have no control and all these things. Nah, that's not it because it's like we don't even know if she's a smoker like that.
We
All we know is that's the route she took to deal with the loss of her mother. I've never lost my mother. I don't know. I can't. Once again, we're not gonna tell nobody how to grieve.
We're not. We're not. I'm not, but I'm definitely in the same breath. I'm not gonna make exceptions,
Right?
Because you broke the rules. Now you
Right.
can do what you want, but like she seemed to be willing to eat the consequences.
Right. It's everybody else who tripping.
So I don't. You know what I'm saying? So, but like there are so many other issues challenging Black women in international competition right now, from Christina Obama being declared ineligible to run because of her naturally high testosterone levels.
At the same time, while they are allowing trans women to participate with women,
Right.
That's that bullshit.
And you got two of them because you also have the 800-meter runner. I just forget her name, who runs out of South Africa.
Castor.
Yeah, Castor.
They've been fucking with her for the longest.
They have made the woman strip naked in front of people to verify her. So you have so many other issues, barrier to entry to a lot of the other well-to-do white sports.
So let me ask this question: the second woman that you said they say have a high level of testosterone, she black or white?
She black.
Okay, yeah, I kind of thought that.
Yeah, she's black. She's from, I forget which African nation she's from, but yeah, she's black.
I really came across a lot of information of them trying to borrow white women with high levels of testosterone.
No, they don't.
You know,
They
they're letting trans women participate against women who have a higher level of testosterone, but not biological women who naturally have just a high level of testosterone. Because it's not been proven that the high level of testosterone give them a competitive advantage. Because Castor, we've talked about that. She has no competitive advantage whatsoever.
No, she looks masculine by a lot of standards. But she ain't setting women's world record times every race.
Look. And no, like Brittany Griner is a taller woman who has more masculine features than the average woman. But Brittany Griner is a great basketball player. But Brittany Griner don't dominate the WNBA like that.
Right.
Her height or even her maybe higher level of testosterone don't give her no more advantage because she ain't dominating the WNBA like that.
But that's where you get into understanding biology, and really the benefit to being a male comes in the growth and development that occurs, particularly during the puberty years. That's when you get the competitive advantage. A 7-year-old boy and a 7-year-old girl.
That
There's
girl
no,
that girl can mop the floor with him.
yeah, there's no physical distinction between the two. It's at puberty. So that's a whole other conversation about the competitive advantage men have versus women and what causes it versus what doesn't. Because even to that, the type of testosterone that causes the body to develop at a rapid rate is a different type of testosterone than the testosterone that's just naturally flowing through men's bodies. That's why men aren't constantly just bulking up all the time for the rest of our lives. It's a different level of testosterone energy. So I don't mind that, but I just wanted to speak on that. Even the swim back issue, which I'll say, speaking to, I've spoken to a few swimmers now that swim professionally, female swimmers, and they both said, if I'm saying both because I spoke to two women, I also spoke to a few men, but I'm really taking the opinion of the women because the swim cap is a women's issue with the soul cap, and they both said that it's not really an issue for competitive swimmers on the Olympic level because they're not going to want to give up the competitive edge
Because that cap is a lot bigger.
for those caps. And they said everybody has to figure out, even white women have to figure out how to work their heads to get them in those caps because those caps, they said, are so tight you can't stick a finger in them. They're literally squeezing your head. So that's not when you think about it from that perspective on that level, that's not a black woman issue. That's like if all of the women are having to figure out how to configure that, how to get them in those caps, it becomes a women's swimming issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When I saw the size of the cap, I was like, I wouldn't wear that. I don't think a lot of Olympic level swimmers are wearing the soul cap because it's a huge cap and it will cause some drag. It will slow them down.
And even to that, a lot of them are already coming with their hair style to fit in the cap.
Right.
You're not going to the Olympics as a swimmer with your biggest hookup.
No, I mean, you're going to adjust, and you can still be culturally appropriate. You can still culturally express yourself, but you're going to make sure that you give yourself every competitive advantage as possible.
Now, but I do understand the backlash is by the Olympic Committee for banning the cap. Because I'm like, yo, if somebody wants to wear that cap and take the competitive hit for wearing it, I don't see why the Olympics should care. It's not giving them a competitive advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that huge deal. I mean, I do think the Olympics are being some asses about that, but
yeah, that's a silly one. But it's a lot of things going on right now where if we just gotta sit down. Let's think about shit.
Well, what you were saying earlier, a better fight for us to get behind is so for black women specifically. So black women with higher levels, but not too high, but higher levels of testosterone can't compete, but trans women can. I mean that's more of an ongoing issue. That's more of a pressing issue than somebody who got caught with weed in their system who knew they shouldn't have weed in their system.
But like you said earlier, we fall in love with personalities and names instead of really seeing the issues and being. If you really feel in that way, Sha'Carri Richardson today said support all of those other black women.
Yeah, your sound just went way down. Yeah.
Is that better? Is it back up?
Back up, nah. Because it came back full force one time, but not just like at this moment, it kind of went way down. But
I don't know. I ain't doing nothing different.
Well, I can hear you, but so real quick because we started talking. This show ain't going no way like we constructed it, but fuck it, it's good anyway. So my Black History rant. I mean, I might need some support. I might need you because I know you're gonna feel me on this. But okay, because we've talked about the critical race theory thing,
CRT, yes,
right? So okay, so I'm gonna just be straight up. Y'all know, fuck it. We're gonna be straight up. So my first issue with the whole idea and everything surrounding critical race theory is why are we acting like critical race theory isn't literally teaching Black history? Why are we acting like that's not the same thing, or is it the same thing? So okay, so teaching critical race theory is teaching American history correctly and making sure that the actual Black history and the events and Black people that it happened to are included. Correct?
Yes, it's teaching history from the perspective of everybody, including Black people.
So at the same time, there's something called Black history and documented Black history that has been available by our own historians since the mid to late 1800s. So why are we acting as, first of all, the first part of my rant is, why are we acting as if critical race theory is our only opportunity and our only chance and the only resources we have to fucking teach Black history? And then the second part is, so why are we to the point where we're upset that white people don't want to teach Black history, don't want to teach critical race theory, but when Black history is available and being taught and it's readily accessible to you, you're not fucking accessing it. How the hell you out of your same mouth? Because now folk talking out both sides of their goddamn mouths now. So on one end, I'm mad that they don't want to teach critical race theory. The other end, hey, I see a world-renowned historian has webinars and information available. Not only him, but a whole bunch of others. Look at all these YouTube. Black history is readily available, but y'all not accessing the shit. Historians, I talk to historians and I hear the conversation. Historians are fucking frustrated with our people because we act like we don't want the fucking information from us, but we mad that the white folk don't want to give it to us. What type of crazy shit is that? Like for real, like think about the level of incompetence and craziness that have to be going through your mind to be deathly upset, highly upset, because white people don't want to teach your kids Black history, but your black ass don't want to teach your kids history either. Your black ass don't care to teach your kids history. Your black ass ain't even trying to find where the history is, but you're mad that the white people don't want to teach your history to your children. It's our job to teach our children our history. It ain't nobody else's job. It's our job to do that. You got to be out your goddamn mind to really trust the people who you claim enslaved you and oppressed you to teach your children anything that will empower them. They didn't teach you. They didn't teach your parents. They didn't teach your grandparents. They didn't teach your great-grandparents. They never taught us, and now you're mad? Well, when are you going to take the initiative to find the information and put it in front of your children and yourself? It's on fucking YouTube. The same place where you go watch all your ratchet shit. The same place where you go watch all your sports. The same place where you go watch all your other stuff. Your makeup tutorial, whatever you watch on YouTube. Guess what? Black history is there too. Go to Google. You know they got this thing called Google, right? You can use it. You can use it for researching more than porn and sports and stuff like that, right?
Nah, I didn't know that.
And you can just type in Black history and see what come up. Like you can type in on the shoulders of giants. See what come up. Go to YouTube, type in on the shoulders of giants. Watch my shit come up. It's history available. And I'm not just ranting for myself. I'm ranting because I witnessed one of our greatest scholars, one of our greatest historians, have a webinar available, a 2-day webinar available. The second day was better than the first day as far as attendance. Both days were great as far as information, but I'm witnessing not just him, but I'm witnessing a host of historians have information available that people aren't accessing. And then in the same vein, in the same breath, have the nerve to be mad at your enemies for not teaching your fucking kids. What type of fool is you? That's, bruh, that's mind-boggling. That's crazy. That's slavery. That's slave mindset at its finest.
That's where we are, though. And I mean, I feel everything you just said, because you know we've been having these conversations all for years, and everything. So many of us draw so much of our self-esteem and self-worth from what white people think about us.
Right.
That is ridiculous. And that's why you have this whole CRT thing, in my opinion. And even with that, CRT has been around since the 80s, the 90s.
Man, these people don't know that shit. These people don't know that shit.
You know, it's not, no. So, but even to that, when you actually look into what CRT is what the black community has been trying to teach its children, what our scholars, historians, and people that are interested in sharing that knowledge degree us. It's what all of these people have been doing since they were able to do it.
1800s.
So the idea, not like when I first heard people getting ramped up about CRT, like I never even commented on it. I think you guys came to me and was like, "Pat, have you heard of CRT?" I was like, yes, I've heard of CRT, but it was never a big concern of mine because I never expected white people to be cool with teaching critical race theory. I never expect. I mean, let me put it this way: the curriculum that we created for PAX, what's this? 3, 4, 5 years ago now?
Yeah, maybe 6.
Maybe 6. At the beginning of that curriculum, the guy who was working with us to put that curriculum together, he was talking about CRT. There are components of CRT built into some of the things he put together for that curriculum. So even in that, we're 6 years ahead of the curve. If we needed to be, we didn't use. That's a separate conversation. But anyway, but what I'm saying is not a new concept. And the fact that people are up in arms about it on both sides, to me, has me like that nobody can be really paying attention to this, because if black people really understood what critical race theory was, they wouldn't be surprised that white people don't want to teach it, especially not if they're truly aware of the times that we're in. You know what I'm saying? If they, like they say they are. But that's one of them things where I feel bad for our scholars, our historians, not our intellectuals, because some of them manage to flip it and make money. But you got to be you have to be a celebrity historian, a celebrity scholar. You got to be a Neil deGrasse Tyson in order to get people to remotely.
But see, that's the problem. He's black people didn't respect Neil deGrasse Tyson until white people validated him. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
I mean, I'm not understanding. Like we once again, we like to talk out both sides of our damn necks, because we always talk about support now, because we're in this movement, especially social media, support our own, support black, black this, black first, everybody's black first, black first, black first, black first, support black. They even got some black, everybody got the shirts melanin popping, black, people wear their afros out, they put the shea butter on, black. But when it come down to the core, at the end of it, to support somebody, what we doing?
Bro, everything is like you said. Everybody and everything is talking out of the side of their neck. My melanin is popping. White people have melanin too. I'm sorry to inform you. We gotta support black artists. That's said on a white social media network. And then the black social media outlets.
Are
That's
suffering
a
because the
whole
black people
separate.
refuse to go over there.
Yeah, that's a whole separate conversation. We got to support black businesses as we fail to start up or really support businesses and critical infrastructures that we need them to be in. What black cell phone manufacturers are there that are allowing you to get a cell phone and type out your pro-black messages? You know what I'm saying? Like, what black internet ISP providers are there? What black search engine? That's something I told you I wanted to build a couple years ago, build a black search engine. And I'm sure there's one out there. I just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, because I
But
know the brother Freddie Freddie Figures. He has the cell phone black owned cell phone company. They give people plans and all that. Figures
does he produce the cell phones? Does he manufacture the phones?
that I don't know. You gotta go to the website. So. But
Right.
yeah, I feel what you're saying. Black people who are literally manufacturing everything, like Dr. Clark was saying.
Right.
We need to own industries and corporations, manufacturing infrastructure. We need to control all of that. So when we're talking about black progress, those are the areas that that critically need to be looked at that black people have no ownership in. So we look at black progress from the fringe aspects of it, or from the more political aspects, or more celebratory aspects, or celebrity wise. So yes, okay, black people, we've had the civil rights movement, and certain laws have been created that now those laws are benefiting everybody else but us. So that's not real progress. So if you want to say, well, the progress is the law being made, yeah, but the laws ain't helping us. Okay, well, we had a black president, yeah, but black America got worse. Not saying he was the reason why black America got worse, but black America got worse. So we're looking at progress as if it's, look, we have black people in positions, but we still own and control nothing.
That's because we haven't had black progress at
Right.
all.
Right.
If
No
we
real progress.
if we want to be honest about it,
Keep it a bean.
like there's been progress, but it hasn't been black progress. It's been white progress. And we
Right.
got to remember, what white progress is: white people becoming more tolerant, more accepting, and sharing resources. And that's basically the entirety of black people's post-slavery history. White people have been progressing.
Well, and I not necessarily sharing resources. Excuse me, not necessarily sharing resources.
Sharing access.
Investing resources with the expected return on investment.
Well, yeah, we saying the same thing.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say it like that, so because I want people to think about it like that, because I'll give such and such these crumbs in this position, because this person is going to bring me back 10, 12, 20 fold. You're an investment now. So because it's like, we think about it, we always hear about these brilliant black children, and then next thing you know, you look up and the majority of them are going to a white institution. So you just reinvested our resources back into a white corporation so they can get a return on their investment.
And that's not black progress. That's white progress. It's the same as when we see the first black person somewhere. That's not black progress. That's white progress.
Right, because it should have black progress would be black people dominate this field, black people own this school, black people own this
It's black
corporation.
ownership, black development, black resource.
Like we got 50 years of black development in a row. That's black progress.
Yeah,
because it's hard to progress when you're depending on everybody else to give you the resources that you need.
I mean, we think about it, black progress. Growing anything that grows the power base of the black community is black progress. True power, not perceived power, not that bullshit ass consumer power. True.
Man, I wish people would go to hell with this consumer power stuff, man.
It's crazy. It's like
Do you hear yourself? Consumer. How the fuck you got real power being a consumer?
You don't have no power. You can only consume what's put on the market. The producers have the power.
But when you consume, you give away your power.
Exactly. That's why I said producers are the only ones with power, because they
producers and investors. Come on, people. Consumer power.
It's not a thing.
Come on, man.
It's not
All that money does is put you in a better position to spend more of it.
and the supply and demand model of economics is overly simplified. Most people that are deep into economics and markets understand it's not as simple as supply and demand. That's grade school shit that you teach elementary schoolers so that they have a fundamental understanding that you can build on later. That is not all there is to it.
Right.
So if you have a simplified view of economics that says supply and demand is how the market works, then yeah, in that world, consumers have power because they control demand.
What?
But in the real world,
What? But the average black consumer in America don't have that type of power, because let's just be more definitive and put more context around this. We're talking about consumers with power, consumers with resources, consumers who can actually move the needle, right?
right,
So yes, if you are a like a hair salon, or perfect example, the hair salon in that one city where the Asian guy, the lady hit him and he hit her back, and then everybody was like, hell no, we're gonna shut this down. So the black, I think the Hebrew Israelite brothers, what they should have did, went out there to protect the ladies and to shut the store down, and then the the store owners did a 50% off on weave and had a line around the corner. Yeah, that's how you flex your consumer power, huh? Because I mean, because real consumer power is all those women saying, you know what, we're not shopping here ever again.
but that's where again, that's where I go back to saying supply and demand is oversimplified because there's a psychology aspect as well to markets. And the person that controls the psychology of the consumer is the
Control
person that has the power. And 9 times out of 10, that is the producer. That is the
right,
market owner, the person
right,
that owns the place where currency
right.
is exchanged. That's those people because even though it was in those black women's best interest
To
to
not,
not shop there no more,
they couldn't pass up that 50% off. No,
because
that shit was too enticing for them.
the
They like, damn, they hit. I'm just give her a name. Damn, they hit Brenda in the face. All right, yo, fuck all that, because I'm finna go get this 50% off. Because
right.
I need,
They
because
had
psychologically, I need this 50% off, and if I don't get this 50% off, I ain't gonna be right.
the psychological power, and they manipulated all of them consumers into transferring their dollars,
Man, look,
regardless of their emotional state, being furious with the store.
you wanna know how you fuck up all that shit and shut black people up with all that shit talking about consumer power? You know the easy way to do that? Have a concert. Have a concert with their favorite artists. All that shit to go out the window. They'll spend all their goddamn money. We love the jam. We love the party.
Yeah.
All right, man, we finna wrap this shit up. We ain't talk. I don't think we ain't really talk about what the Haitian president. We'll come back next week talk about that. But damn it, the show went where it needed to go.
Yeah, and it's getting dark outside, so I'm starting to go invisible.
I see that.
I know that why I said that's why you're wrapping up, because I'm starting to blend in with my environment.
Look like your contrast went all the way down. Hey man, parting shots real quick. www.freedomtrainradio.com. Hey, Freedom Train Network on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share, like this video, comment, all that shit. Support the platform. And shit, dude. We'll see y'all goddamn asses next week, man. Peace out.